Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at missiles that, Iran's using against, the United States and Israel and all the neighboring countries around. It's a type of missile or type of missiles that honestly have never been seen before. So without wasting any time, let's just get right into it.
So right now, Israel's kind of on high alert again as Iran is firing cluster munitions, not only from Iran, but they're also firing from Lebanon, where Hezbollah is located. So it's a weapon difficult to intercept. So deadly, they're widely banned and may violate the laws of war. Not that Iran cares about that. I'll give you an idea fundamentally of what they are.
Are there laws of war? I mean, what would be the laws of war? Hey, guys, there's a war. Only shoot these type of missiles, not these. Well, no, if you're in a war because you want to win the war. So, I mean, by the way, this missile is insane. The reason why it can't be intercepted, as you see there, because it starts off as one giant missile, and then once it gets over, its target, it spreads open, and a bunch of small missiles, as the guy's going to show in a second, they detach, and then now there's like a rain of smaller missiles that hit multiple targets. So if you have like interceptor missiles, like the Patriot system or the other ones there, they don't know where to go. They don't know what to hit, because now there's from one giant missile, there's 80 gigantic ones or 80 smaller ones. The guy's gonna explain it now.
Comes over like a ballistic missile, right? Try to block it. If you do in fact intercept it, it doesn't mean the rocket stopped. It means some of the bomblets that are inside can go to the ground, and they can be just as dangerous. And they all don't detonate at the same time. As you see, the doors open on this rocket. It's happened about 11 times so far. And then out come all the bomblets. And they'll spread out wide and far. Random targets. Really, I guess you're saying they're targeting civilians. You're not looking at military sites. You're looking to hurt as many people as possible.
Damn.
11 have been killed by this weapon. And that shows how, I think, desperate they are. They're in a situation where they're trying to hold on to their country that's been under severe attack from the two most lethal air forces and armies in the world, Israel and the U.S.
But that's crazy. The fact that they don't all... So what happens? I'm guessing that they fall, they hit their targets, and maybe a couple of them don't explode at the same time. They just land, they hit something, and then I'm guessing they explode at a later, maybe a couple minutes later, or I don't know, half an hour later. No, there's a timer on it. It's crazy.
Retired battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Darren Gaub. Colonel, good to see you. First off, on these cluster munitions, does it surprise you Iran and Hezbollah has gone to this?
Right, no, not at all. I mean, I guess if you're looking for the difference between America and Israel and Iran, this cluster munition is exactly the difference between us. We go to great pains and great lengths to ensure that we don't cause civilian casualties and damage to infrastructure that isn't necessary to our objective.
That's not exactly true.
In Iran is, they don't consider civilian casualties to be an issue. They're going to go ahead and bomb whoever they have to and take in all the non-combatants and kill as many as they possibly can. So that's the difference between them and us. Not surprised at all that they're using these now.
What do your sources say is the success we're having so far in hitting the missile sites, the rocket sites, the drone sites, and now targeting commanders in the IRGC?
That's crazy.
Yeah, Brian, that's key is just the numbers, the sheer numbers of what's happening right now with regards to missiles and drone launches and everything is down to about 5%. It was at the beginning, and that happened very rapidly. Now, you're still going to see these happen, of course.
What is that?
It's not perfect yet. We haven't covered the entire nation. But when you just look at how much Iran is launching now versus what they launched in the initial days of this entire...
I'm never going to understand how they strike that so precisely. Because they're like right on the target. Do they aim the target before, or do they? I don't know. Do they aim at target later? Because from what I'm looking at here, it doesn't seem like there's an actual there's no heat signature from the vehicles, because a couple of vehicles were parked. I think they weren't even on. So I can understand if there would be a heat signature, but these are striking directly on the money. I don't know that much about these missile systems or weapon system that they're using, but I'm not defending anyone, but I just have to say it's impressive how they're able to really hit precisely on the target.
They're attacked by us. Those numbers have gone way down, and that allows us to operate in the skies over Iran almost with impunity, hitting targets as we want to now.
So
That's crazy.
I understand the Arab states, the Gulf states, have missile defense, and we've seen it be extremely effective. But the goal of the Iranians is to kill that missile defense, I'm sure with the coaching of the Russians.
Hold on. Are we looking, hold on. Didn't the guy just say, this guy, didn't he just say that the United States and Israel that are bombing Iran, didn't he say that they would never hit residential or commercial areas in Iran? Didn't he just say that, like, not even less than a minute ago? And what are we looking at there? What is that? Now, I know Tehran, it's a big city, but that kind of looks like a place that would either be residential or people are living inside.
But the goal of the Iranians is to kill that missile defense, I'm sure with the coaching of the Russians.
There's stores. These are stores. These are cars parked on the side of the street. There you go. It's another store. It looks like it was a supermarket. That looks like a rack where they'd sell potato chips. It looks like it could be either a refrigerator or a cash register. So how are you going to sit there and tell me that only Iranians that are bombing other neighboring countries and all that, they don't care about the rules of war or the laws of war, whatever you want to call it, which I think is a bunch of BS. The United States would never hit any residential areas. We're looking at it right there. Now I understand it's the enemy, but at what point are you going to sit there and say we look at that? Those are regular cars. No, the United States doesn't bomb and send missile into residential or commercial areas. There you go, right there. They're showing it on television. You know what? This is why I hate this whole situation, because the governments are doing whatever they want, and who's suffering? The people. Look. Like, seriously.
The eyes by striking the warning radars, kill the aim by targeting the radars and the guide interceptors, and third, destroy the batteries by hitting the launchers themselves. What kind of success of the Iranians?
Look at that. Tell me that's not a residential area. Even if it was in a residential area, it was let's say commercial business. Those are cars. They're not tanks. They're not missile silos. They're not military bases.
Iranians had in doing that in Oman, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar.
Limited success. I've only heard of a couple of those, but not only is Russia helping, China is helping as well. It's in both of their best interest to see. Yeah. Look
at that. It looks like it's dead smack. I don't think that's a military base, an Iranian military base, because what military base would hang? Let me see if I can just put. What military base would hang these lights like that in the middle? Which one? No country's military base. None. Zero. Because that would not be up to spec. In no country. Even if it's a very festive military. Doesn't matter. This looks like a completely residential area. And this does not look like a military base. It does not. So in the end, how are you going to sit there and tell me, with the thing behind the flag, with 1776, how are you going to sit there and tell me, America doesn't hit, they're not hitting residential or commercial areas, but Iran, they're not respecting the rules of war, and they're attacking everyone. You see, this is what pisses me off when it comes to stuff like this. And this is why, and I have to agree with him the few times that I do agree with him, when Trump says fake news, fake media, fake news, or whatever, this is exactly why. This is the perfect example right here. Not so much because of Fox News, reporting about this, but whoever this guy is, they're giving him the platform to talk about this, and he sits there with a straight face, looking you straight in the eyes and saying, we've never hit residential or commercial areas. And there you go. Completely destroyed residential area.
The Gulf go up in flames essentially, and us be weakened in general. But overall,
Yeah.
though, I'd say that the air defense systems throughout the region have been
Oh
very
yeah, that looks like a military base. That really looks like a military base.
successful. Their degradation is minimal and able to be replaced fairly quickly. And you see that in the results of how successful Iran strikes have actually been. Combine that with our ability to constantly target and continuously target their air defense systems, their missile and drone launcher systems, as well as the logistics in support of it. That's the reason why you see Trump.
Well, he just lied again. I don't know if he sees what they're playing. I don't know if they add this to the thing afterwards, but we just saw fucking. I apologize. We just saw them showing them. They didn't hit no that right there now. That looks like it could be something like reserves of gas and oil and stuff like that. But oh, that's in Oman. Okay, so that's understandable. But what they showed before, they said it was Tehran. He just said, "Oh, we're only focused on hitting their missile this and silo that." No, that's not the case. I'm sorry.
Saying today that we're so close to being able to, call an end to the military side of this and move on to, in my opinion, what was actually one of the harder phases of this is what comes next.
Right. We have wiped out their Navy, but they have those fast boats, and there's like 70 to 80% of them are still in existence, and they're hitting the tankers from land. They're not hitting them from the sea. Thanks so much, Lieutenant Colonel. I appreciate it. Lieutenant Colonel Galb, thank you.
Oh, he's a lieutenant colonel. Oh, that just tells you even more that he's full of BS. A lieutenant colonel, so he's in the military, the American military. And so the American military just sat there and told you on television they're not hitting civilian or commercial properties with their missiles. That the U.S. strives to not hit, and it was a lie. Flat out lie. Now look, I am not, I'm not saying it's not true or it's conspiracy theory. You literally just saw it. Just right now they showed it on national news, because Fox News is a national news channel. So I don't know. This honestly, this fact here, I don't care. I'm not taking anyone's side. I'm just looking for what's right and what's just. And sitting there and saying that you don't hit that, and I'm gonna drone on. You guys can log off now. You guys can close the video now if you want. But it still, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's horrible. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I overreacting to this? Or, could there be something to it? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.